Hey students, I guess I'm back for another semester of some wonderful videos. I just cannot wait for you to see them all. So this is going to be your very first video on how to work with clay. If your parents or the adults in your house are close by, apologize for me, because I think they all thought they were good sports about having clay at home, but they might change their mind pretty quick. But that's okay. It's too late now, right? So first thing I want you to do is with the little clear cup you got, I want you to fill it about halfway up with water. Okay? Then you're going to take a little chunk of your clay and put it right in there. Maybe 2 little chunks. This is going to be our slip cup, and we're going to talk about this in class as well, but slip is just clay and water, and you use it to attach clay to itself. So we're going to need that a little bit later, but that way you can kind of get it started. You don't need any of the paper from your kit. You do need your mask eventually. You're going to need your needle tool and your sponge. My sponge is over here. And you're going to need some extra stuff too that I'm hoping you can find at home. So right off the bat, I want you to take some clay off of your block, and you can just grip it and tear it off of there. It's so important that your clay stay wet, okay? So anytime you take clay out of this bag, you need to wrap it up as tight as you can with all the air out of it, and then what I like to do is just put that over the side and then put it on the top so that it will seal itself there, okay? And then when we start with clay, we have to wedge it. So what you're gonna do is try to get it in a ball as best as you can. And for the mask project to begin, we're gonna take like a large grapefruit size of clay. This might be bigger than a grapefruit. Do any of you know what a grapefruit is? I'm sure you do. I bet you eat fruit all the time. So we're gonna take about this much clay, okay? And we have to wedge it first for 5 minutes. And wedging gets all the air bubbles out of the clay, so when it gets fired, which is when it heats up in a really hot oven to 2,500 degrees for 24 hours. That's what the kiln process is. If you have air bubbles in your clay during that time, those air bubbles expand and then they pop eventually. And that's what causes breaks in clay during the kiln. They can actually like explode your pieces and stuff. So because of that, we want to make sure we take adequate time to wedge clay. So it's about 5 minutes. This clay is fresh, it's brand new, so it shouldn't take you longer than that. And what you're gonna do is take the heel of your hand and you're gonna hit the clay, turn the clay, hit the clay, turn the clay, and so on and so forth. This is not wedging. This isn't doing anything to get air bubbles out. Neither is, like softly patting your clay. You need to hit it, hit it hard enough that in 5 minutes your hands hurt, because you probably don't use these muscles as much as other muscles in your bodies. If you get tired, you set it down and you take a break for a little bit until you're not tired anymore. And then you do it longer, because it's crucial that you wedge the clay. Some of you will ignore my advice. That's fine. You can do that. You're your own boss, right? But if your piece explodes in the kiln, you can't get mad at me, because I can't fix it. So, 5 minutes of this. When you're done, I'm not going to do it for 5 minutes because I'm not going to fire my piece. It's just an example. When you're done, you're going to get out tools that you need. So here's the deal. Already, you didn't get enough stuff at home. So I want you to take, just for today, this canvas off of your tray and set your tray aside. And it's because we have to roll out this ball of clay somehow. How we would do it in a class is with a rolling pin. I do not suggest you use a rolling pin from your kitchen unless you use saran wrap to cover your clay, which is actually probably the way I'm going to show you. Is that not a good idea? The other way to do it, there's a couple ways. Really, what you could do is just force the clay down. Like, this stuff is fresh enough. I could force it. Yeah, let's just do it this way. This will work just fine. So you're just going to kind of smush it out with your hand. So try not to smush it too thin. Like, we really want it to be probably a 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. So, like your knuckle is usually about 1 inch, at least mine are. So that's a good gauge. And try not to push more, like it'll automatically kind of thin out more on the edges. So push from the middle and kind of push out towards the edges. Okay, we're gonna keep it as consistent as possible. There's also, I've linked a YouTube video of how you can throw clay to flatten it. It's kind of cool, but it's also really loud and takes up a lot of space, and I don't know what kind of space you're working on. So I didn't want to show you that way, but if you wanted to check it out, it's kind of a cool technique. I mean, you learn something anyways. Also, keep flipping it over because the opposite side that you're smushing on is going to be nice and flat. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have kind of that flatness on each side. That was an air bubble. Did you hear it pop? Oh, I hope you don't have any of those. I guess this is good if you're like smushing them all out. Okay, then you can just take your mask as kind of a gauge to see if this will work. So will this, fit over my mask? It's pretty darn close. I want it to be a little bit thinner because I know how thin it needs to be. If you have very understanding guardians in your house and you wanted to roll this out with a rolling pin, I'm not telling you to do this. Certainly don't do it without permission, but what you could do is put saran wrap over the top of your clay and then take your rolling pin. Look at that. It works so well. And then maybe it wouldn't get it dirty as long as you're very careful not to get it on the clay. I didn't tell you to do this. I will deny it forever. I know it's on video. I don't care. You can't prove it's me. In the ceramics room, you probably can. Okay. So it's just a thought. Just a thought. It worked really slick though. But you do need to go scrounge for some saran wrap in your house and cover your armature with that. So the canvas mask that we're using to build this on, it needs to be covered with saran wrap. Paper towel could work. If you use paper towel, I would get it wet in the sink, squeeze it out as much as you possibly can, and then put it over your canvas mask. You probably could use aluminum foil. The reason we do this is because the canvas will soak up the moisture from your clay, and it's fine. They're not always reusable, but sometimes it gets a little too soggy and it'll like smush. So anyway. So then the last step, whoops, some extra clay, is to place this over your mask so nicely. And then you just want to kind of try to push it firmly down and around your mask. Okay, don't be scared. Clay is great because it can be manipulated anyway. So if you like accidentally smush it with your finger too much, you can just smush it back and get rid of that. Then once it's all nice and smooth, if you have any wrinkles in it, you might need to like cut them and kind of smush them together. Don't be scared, it's clay. You cannot do anything wrong with this stuff. It's pretty amazing. Then you're going to take your needle tool. This is the only tool in your kit, and you're going to push it through the clay until it touches the canvas beneath it, and then you're just going to drag it around your piece to trim off all that excess. Okay, and then this should just pick right up. And this is the clay you can use to make your facial features, okay? So this is all we're doing the first day. So if you get done with this, I would just take a little bit of time to smooth it out. Also, if you are finding that your clay is getting really dry, like you see a ton of cracks in it and stuff, it probably just means your hands are too dry. So what I like to do is just put my fingertips in the water and then just try to keep my hands wet. Otherwise, you can use your sponge. This sponge has been soaked in water and I squeeze it out really well. You can just take this and use that to smooth out your piece too. And then you don't have to worry about drying that clay out with your hands. So now for storage, big tricks on storage. Everything has to stay wet, otherwise it'll dry out and you have to start over, and nobody wants to do that, okay? So take the lid to your slip and make sure it's sealed tight because you just don't want to spill that water. Oh my goodness, my lid isn't working already. Okay, good enough, I guess. you're gonna take your baggie and you're gonna put your extra clay in your baggie. Remember, this clay is sealed up, right? We want this nice and sealed because we're not gonna use it for a while. You're gonna put your extra clay that you already started using in your baggie, and actually a good trick might be to put your sponge in there too, just to make sure it doesn't dry out. And then seal it tight, okay? Then everything goes on your tray. If you weren't already on your tray, it's going on there now. You're putting this over here, you're putting this over here, you can put your tools on here, and you're taking that garbage bag I gave you, and you're putting everything in the garbage bag. Well, also, I'm noticing this is sticking. If we were, like after the next step, I maybe would take a couple paper towels and put it over my mask just so the bag doesn't stick to your mask and kind of make texture on it. It wouldn't be anything that you couldn't smooth out early on, but you know, it's one less step if you store it correctly, right? So then you're gonna seal this. Seal this and then tuck it under the tray and then put it somewhere safe to work on later, okay? So that's it for your first video. Email me or meet me in Touchpoints if you have any questions. And I hope you have fun working with clay. See you later.